If I had to choose one season of the year to film wildlife in, it would be the season of autumn. It's a season of great change in the colours, beautiful reds, oranges, deep golden browns. And all these give us a great opportunity to photograph and film our wildlife against some absolutely stunning backgrounds. Autumn is a time of food gathering, finding mates, and as I've said, getting ready for the winter that lies ahead. It's an absolutely crucial time for wildlife. So in this video, UK Autumn Wonders, all I want to do is, or what we're going to look at is red kites at harvest time. We'll look at red deer during the rut, and then we'll look at the red squirrel and how it goes about preparing itself for winter. So red kite, red deer, red squirrel. So why the three reds? Well, those three colours combined with the colours and the beautiful colours that we get at autumn time, they so complement each other and you can get some really good pictures. So let's go. The autumn months in the UK are the months of September, October and November. So looking at September is normally the end of the harvest season, so the farmers have been out ploughing the fields, bringing in their crops, and that's a great opportunity to see our first subject, the red kite. Red kites during harvest time is probably one of the best times to get a good close approach to the red kite. Now, red kites used to be virtually on the brink of extinction in the UK, but they've made a remarkable recovery. And they're quite a common bird nowadays here in the UK. There are a number of commercial, what they call feeder stations for red kites, where you go along, you pay a small fee, and then the farmers or the owners will put meat out for the birds to come down. And it's a fantastic spectacle, and I've photographed and filmed red kites at those locations on a number of times. It's as the farmers are actually ploughing the fields or bringing the crops in that they're actually disturbing the ecosystem that other wildlife have been living in throughout the year. So things like mice and voles, etc. That's what the kites are looking for, those that have been caught up in the ploughing or the bringing in of the harvest, and they will take that opportunity to feed on them. And as I keep saying, that's the time when you can get up close to the red kite and get some great images. I did a previous video on how to photograph the red kite, and I'll leave a link for that in the description below. Top tip. Autumn time is also the time to start getting ready for winter. What that really means for bird photographers here in the UK is the arrival of winter migrants. Birds like the redwing, the fieldfare and the beautiful waxwing. They come here for one reason, this: berries. That's the tip. Berries, berries, berries. What I'll do in autumn is I'll keep my eye open for likely food sources, because that's the only reason they come here is food, and it's the berries that they're after. So this is a rowan tree. So this is on a route that I normally take when in fact I've come out to film this video this morning and I've seen this tree and I've stopped. So top tip for autumn is to find trees and bushes with berries on them that you can target during the winter when the likes of the fieldfares and the redwings arrive here in the UK, and I did a previous video on that, and I'm currently working on a video for the waxwing. The month of October here in the UK brings us one of the most spectacular wildlife events that any wildlife photographer would want to photograph, and that's the deer rut. Now, both the red deer and the fallow deer at this time of the year, the stags will be forming harems of females so that they can mate with them. But as they do that, what will happen is that the stags will actually challenge each other by fighting, by entangling the antlers and fighting, and that's called rutting. And it's at that time, normally early to middle October is the best time to go and actually watch that fantastic spectacle, the rut, with the red deer or the fallow deer. So where are you going to find them? Again, if you're a beginner to wildlife photography, I would recommend that you find a local deer park or a deer park that's near you, where you can get access, but you have to be careful during the rut because these stags, and some of them are very big. The red deer itself is the largest land mammal that we have here in the UK. The big animals, the big heavy animals, they're full of testosterone, and if you get too close, they will let you know. And there have been incidents here in the UK where people have been attacked by red deer stags during the rut, so you need to be careful. Myself personally, 2 years ago I spent a week up in the Highlands of Scotland with my brother James, who's a fantastic landscape photographer, and he knows the Scottish Highlands inside and out, and we spent about 4 days up in the mountains and in the glens and along the shores of the lochs, getting up close to the red deer and photograph them, and that was an absolute fantastic experience. During that time period that I spent up in Scotland, I took some film, and as I said, I got some fantastic photographs, and I did a video on how to photograph the red deer up in the Scottish Highlands, and again I'll leave a link for that in the description below. Top tip, white balance. Now, while auto white balancing works pretty well, it's when you actually get to the stage where you're going to process your pictures that you can take advantage of the different types of white balance there, especially in autumn. And the two settings that I would recommend are cloudy and shade. These settings will warm up your images and they will enhance the natural autumn colours. Now, cloudy gives you a slightly warmer touch to compensate for the cool dullness brought on by things like clouds, whereas shade is designed to warm up any image that is in a cool shaded light, and it adds a slight reddish orange tint to an image, which is perfect for autumn images or red and brown wildlife. Personally, I always look at shade from a white balance for autumn images and autumn colours. Okay, what I want to do now is just take a quick time out to give you a look forward to a video that we're working on at the moment, and that's how to photograph the waxwing. Probably the most anticipated winter maggot that we get here in the UK. It's the one bird that bird photographers are very keen to find and to photograph. So what we'll do in the video, I'll take you through everything that you need to know about waxwings and my approach to photographing them. So look forward to Kevin Hatley Photography, how to photograph waxwings, coming soon. Autumn is the time of the year that we're going to see what we know as the food gatherers and the hoarders, and none more so than the squirrels. Here in the UK we have two squirrels. We have the red squirrel and the grey squirrel. The grey squirrel being the most numerous, and the red squirrel, you have to go to certain places in the UK to actually find them, and there are a number of specific red squirrel photography hides that you can pay to go and get up close and photograph them. Squirrels will spend absolutely hours looking for, searching for, finding, gathering, taking them away, hiding them, hoarding them, so that it can take them through the lean months of winter. And it's those opportunities at some of these hides that you can get some fantastic photographs.
It's just a laid back vibe, baby. Straight up. It's just a laid back vibe, baby.
If you're a beginner to wildlife photography, there's probably no greater subject than the squirrel to photograph. Whether it's a grey squirrel, which are a lot more numerous, and you'll find them in your local parks, you'll get them in gardens, and you can get up quite close to them. And because they live in that urban type environment, they're not really that bothered by human presence, so you can get up close to them and you can get some great photographs. I made a previous video on how to photograph squirrels, and I'll leave a link for that in the description below. Squirrels aren't alone in their endeavours to look for, gather and hoard food for the forthcoming winter. One of my favourite birds to photograph is the jay, the European jay. What I'm going to do now is just show you a short clip of a jay that I took at a feeder station that I set up 2 winters ago, specifically to photograph woodpeckers and jays, and I had some fantastic experiences photographing the jays, and I did a video on that, and again I'll leave a link for that below. But what I want you to do in this short clip is have a guess how many peanuts the jay eats in one go and how it holds it in its throat. Absolutely amazing. 9 nuts that jay picked up, hoarded them in its gullet, and then it will fly away to a store that is set up where it will hoard those nuts for when times are a bit leaner and it can feed on. European jays, beautiful birds to photograph. Top tip, feeder stations. Autumn is also the time of year to start planning for setting up a bird feeder station in order to feed the birds during winter. Don't expect to just go out there, put some feeders out and expect jays and woodpeckers just to turn up. It doesn't happen like that. It needs a lot of prior preparation and planning, and autumn is the time to do that preparation and planning. You have to be prepared to plan, recce, and then wait to find the perfect location. I did a previous video on how to set up a bird feeder station, and again I'll leave a link for that in the description below. Get this right and the rewards can be spectacular. Okay, what I want to do now is just leave you with some of my favourite images that I've taken during the autumn here in the UK. Thanks for watching this edition of Kevin Hatley Photography and the UK's Autumn Wonders. All I would ask is that if you've liked the video, could you hit the like button? Because I also ask you to subscribe to the channel Kevin Hatley Photography. It's completely free, it doesn't cost anything, and what it does, it just allows me to grow the channel and be able to share my encounters of wildlife here in the UK with other people around the world. So, until the next time, stay safe, take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.